Welcome. What you will be confronted with in the following minutes is the start of a new podcast. For this podcast, we have chosen the name Frankly Brussels. Why? Because me, Frank, I will be the moderator, introducing Brussels-based movers and shakers. Why a new podcast? All English language Brussels-based podcasts concentrate more on politics than on the life, the values, the ideas and activities of those hundreds and thousands of EU players. What is missing is a podcast highlighting every time one mover and shaker of the Brussels bubble. And therefore, we have chosen this time to speak with Jürgen Klute. And what is missing as well is a podcast highlighting one of the special corners of Brussels in the EU quarter and beyond. Therefore, we have chosen this time the historic graveyard Die Weg, a graveyard created in 1866 when a cholera epidemic struck Brussels. 1866, just a year after the end of the American Civil War.
1866. The US Civil War just finished. Germany and Austria in a war, and this cemetery started. A cemetery with a lot of graves in neoclassical, neo-Gothic or Art Deco style. A huge part of graves from Ashkenaz Jews. And 1958, it stopped to be an ordinary cemetery. Certainly some people who died later have the right, if family members are here, to be added. But it became now a sort of cemetery in a park. A lot of people are coming here because of the history of this special atmosphere and of the grave of Hergé. 1907, 23rd of March, Paul Remy was born. And Etterbeek, named afterwards Hergé, the father of these famous Tintin comic strip series. I think it's necessary to add, if you meet an innovative youngster in Belgium, you ask, what do you want to become in your life? They will say, most of them will say, either comic strip designer or film producer. He himself was fascinated, Hergé, by comics. He produced the very first drawings at a very early age. His most famous bande dessinée comic strips are Tintin and Milou in French, Tintin and Snowy in English, and Tim und Struppi in German. And he is, and I think no one has a right to doubt, the most read Belgian writer worldwide. Countries, continents, regions, but a universal writer as well, because children, youngsters, adults, they all read Tintin's stories and they are fascinated by it. He had some difficult moments in his life, sexual abuse by an uncle, 2 times married, but finally he traveled to a lot of places in the world. Already when he was a scout, he traveled, early 20s, to Switzerland, Austria, Italy, and he created an incredible selection of comics. His memory is guarded in a special museum since 2009 in Louvain, via this cemetery and via all the millions and millions of books which you find all over the world. Thank you, Jürgen Klute, that you came here to the cemetery, old cemetery in Uccle, Die Weg. And we are just sitting here at the grave of Hergé. What was your experience with this?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me. I don't remember when I met him or read the first time. I read a lot of comics when I was a young boy. And I think Tim and Struppi were amongst all these different kinds of comics, but I don't remember it exactly. But when I came to Brussels, and I visited the comic museum here in Brussels, and I came back to him and found his merchandising books.
You are German, you were born in Germany. Where?
I'm born in Bünde, and that's a small city in the northeast corner of North Rhine-Westphalia. There you can find very, very old skulls, for example, from a whale. They found years ago a 300 million years old skull of a whale.
But you have a special relationship, your city, with England as well.
That's right. In the 5th or 6th century there were two knights. They were called Hengist and Horsa, and they are the symbol of the city of Bünde, and they moved to England to conquer England.
Now, but when you were small, what was your dream to become?
When I was young, I wanted to become a pilot.
But finally you entered the army?
No. I refused my military service later. I heard so many stories about the Second World War that I at least decided that I wanted to refuse my military service, and I did it.
And then you went to university to study what?
I started to study theology, Lutheran Protestant theology.
And where?
I started in Bielefeld at University of the Westphalian Church. At that time they had an own high school there. And I started there because I had to learn the traditional languages, Latin language, Greek language and Hebrew language, and they offered it.
Later on you moved to another university?
Yes, later on I moved to our common university, to Marburg.
Yeah, because I studied there as well, yeah. And why Marburg?
Marburg is one of the most famous and oldest Protestant university in Germany, and it was very famous for theology. There were a lot of famous university teachers in the past. And
theology means a lot of different issues. What was for you the most interesting?
The most fascinating thing were the Old and New Testament, to work on the text and to look to the history of that time, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, and to understand better how people lived at that time and why they wrote all this text.
But while studying, you engaged yourself politically as well.
Yes, at that time not for a party. At that time I was more involved in the political movement of students.
Then you finished your examen. Then the church decided you should now become a pastor, a priest. Where?
They asked me to go to the Ruhr area. That's an old industrial region.
Yeah, with a lot of mining and things like this.
Mining, steel.
And I heard you refused to do this.
Yes, I said I don't know this region very well. It's a very special region with a lot of migrants, with a lot of special kind of industry. And before I want to work there, I'm interested to learn more about the living condition of the people in this region.
That means you worked then as a miner?
Yes.
1,000, 2,000 meters down in the earth?
The mine where I worked was only 800 meters.
Oh, not bad, nevertheless.
It's deep enough. No? But we did it, it was a short project. We did it together with 3 people, and at least the church organized with us a short project to look for and to do a short research about the relation between church, parish and the industrial situation at the place.
You worked then as a priest, a pastor. And I think most of it is to give moral and psychological assistance, but baptism, to baptize, to marry, and to go to the funeral and bury people. What was what you did most?
The most I did was to go to a funeral and organize a funeral.
But I heard you became very much liked and appreciated by the local people, and therefore they made pressure on you to become a politician, to become a member of the European Parliament.
Yes.
When was it?
That was around 2005.
And when you are a member of the European Parliament, 720 MEPs now, one is lost if you don't find a specific subject where you focus on. What was what were your subjects?
I had at least 3 subjects. One subject was the Mercosur.
Oh, the treaty, Mercosur, now with South America, Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay and Uruguay. And it was signed now. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. I accompanied the negotiations for 5 years, and the whole negotiation lasted 25 years. No? And the second one was a conflict between the Kurdish community in Turkey Turkey and the Turkish government. Turkey
A difficult
wanted
issue.
to become a member of the European Union, and before they can become a member of the European Union, they have to finalize this conflict. The last
issue?
one, I was a member of the Econ, that was an economic committee, yes.
Economic and
monetary.
Monetary,
And
yes.
monetary. I worked for a long time on the problem that people, they are over in debt or they are homeless or workless, they have difficulties to get a bank account. And then,
Yeah, because the banks say we don't want this person as a client.
yes, of course. But more and more people need
Everyone
a bank
needs.
account, or everyone needs. Otherwise, you can't get a apartment or you can't get a job. And so I started to fight for the right of access to a bank account, to a basic bank account.
That means you are the person who succeeded to seduce the EU institutions, all 27 countries, that now every person living in the European Union has the right to have a bank account.
Yes, that's true.
Wow, wonderful.
Since 2016 it is in force, yes.
Yes, but now you left the European Parliament, and what do you do now here in Brussels?
I like to live here and I enjoy my life here, but I'm busy with a lot of activities. I started in 2016 an own blog. It is called Europa blog. I'm busy with the Belgian Info.
Belgian Info is
It's a news portal for German-speaking expats in Belgium. And 2 years ago, I was one of the 3 founders of a special NGO, which is called Europe Silk Road Connect, and we are busy with the improvement of the relation between China and Europe.
But there's a Gaza activity from you as well.
Since October 23, there is this war in Gaza. Majority of population, of politicians are focused on Israel and supporting only Israel, but they don't have a look and a view to the sufferings of the people in Gaza, and therefore I started with a colleague together a special app to bring more information about the situation in Gaza.
Your last activity happened in Dinant, and I heard there you were the only German journalist at an historic event.
Yes, in 1940, when the First World War started in August, the German soldiers did a big massacre and killed 674 civilians. Then the population of Dinant built a memorial, and it has been destroyed by the Nazis.
Dinant, this very nice city where Adolf Sax, I think,
Yeah.
was born as well, the inventor of the
That's
saxophone.
right.
And then, Second World War, the Nazi army is arriving. What happened there?
Then they destroyed this memorial and took a part of the memorial. On the memorial was a bronze plate which showed a scene when German soldiers killed civilians in Dinant.
And what happened with this part?
The Nazis brought it to Berlin, and it disappeared for a long time in the cellar of a museum. And in 2019, and then they found out that it came from Dinant.
And now there was this historic moment to bring back and to give back this piece of the memorial to Dinant. And you were there as the only German-speaking journalist besides all the Belgian media.
Yes, that's right. Yes, I witnessed how the German ambassador gave this bronze plate back to the mayor of Dinant.
Wonderful. Congratulations for these activities, and thank you that you found time to speak to me for this podcast and that you were accepted to go here to this emblematic cemetery to the grave of Hergé. Thank you very much, Jürgen Klute.
Thank you very much as well.
Mm-hmm.